Hey everybody, welcome to another daily devotion. Good to have you with us today. I'm out on the road and thought I would talk a little bit about wisdom today. First of all, welcome. My name is Dave. I'm a Christian recording artist and a worship leader based in New Jersey. And I'm out on the road right now. I'm on tour in Pennsylvania and I'm at the hotel. And I've been reading this book by Ken Shigematsu, and it's called God in Everything, I think. God in My Everything. And he was talking about samurai warriors. And he learned that samurai were, aside from being incredible warriors, they had breathtaking dexterity and speed. He also learned that the samurai were farmers, philosophers, poets, and artists, and they lived by a code of honor called bushido. Now, I had never heard this phrase before. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. But what bushido stands for and means is it's a set of rules and practices that guided their life and enabled them to grow into people of wisdom, fortitude, loyalty, compassion, and service. Kind of sounds a little bit like followers of Jesus, right? Where there are these set of kind of rules and practices that we all have because we're basically following the teachings of Jesus. So I wanted to dig into that a little bit more. And there's another great quote that I found in here. It says, "A rule of life is simply a rhythm of practices that empowers us to live well and grow more like Jesus by helping us experience God in everything." So looking at, well, maybe I'll come back to that. But I love that, the thought of that idea, the thought of that word bushido. A set of rules and practices that guided their life and enabled them to grow into people of wisdom, fortitude, loyalty, compassion, and service. So it kind of led me to Proverbs, thinking about this. And so let me read Proverbs 1 through 5, and that'll kind of be the focus of today's devotion. Proverbs 2, 1 through 5 says this, and it's titled God's Gift of Wisdom. "My son, if you receive my words and treasure my commands within you, so that you incline your ear to wisdom and apply your heart to understanding. Yes, if you cry out for discernment and lift up your voice for understanding, if you seek her as silver and search for her as for hidden treasures, then you will understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God." So, and I believe that's the NIV translation if you're keeping score at home. But let me just read a little bit of the commentary here and then we can chat about it. So in the first chapter of Proverbs, Solomon began to speak to his son. So if you haven't read Proverbs, first of all, it's a really good practice to take a month, when this comes out, it'll be July 27th. So we're coming up on a new month, right? So August. So maybe just take the month of August and read a proverb a day. Maybe some of you have done that before, maybe some of you haven't, but it's a really good practice. Keeps you very focused. So in the first chapter of Proverbs, Solomon began to speak to his son, instructing him in the ways of wisdom. Here he continues that teaching, appealing to his son to receive his words and really just treasure the commands, really hold in reverence the commands that he's giving. Wisdom can never benefit us if it's not received and treasured. Wisdom, that's a great quote right there. Wisdom that isn't received, receiving it is one thing, it's fine. Listening, first of all, is the first step. Then receiving it and saying, okay, let me find a way to make that a part of my life, but then treasuring it and saying, oh man, that really is affecting me in a deep way. So, the search, Kidner says, strenuous as it may be, is not unguided. Its starting point is revelation, specific words and practical commandments. Its method is not one of free speculation, but of treasuring and exploring received teachings so as to penetrate to their principles. Man. Accept is paralleled with store up, right? We've heard that before, store up your treasures in heaven. A figure that implies that most teaching cannot be used immediately, but that some time will pass before education's effects are felt, right? So that's a quote from a guy named Ross. Really, really good. Like that idea of wisdom comes into our lives, into our hearts, into our minds, into our souls. And in this day and age, we're always looking for the quick reaction and turn. But sometimes wisdom just takes a while to kind of sink in, takes a while to put into practice, and takes a while for it to actually work and take root almost in our lives. Love that. God's intention is that you and I make his wisdom our own. We are to learn it from the Bible. Nobody is to know it in our stead. Pastors are charged by God with helping us to grow, but we must make his word ours so as to keep it with us. I love that. When my son got baptized, the pastor said to him, he said, hey, your faith now, this is your own faith. It's not a faith that you can kind of glean from your parents, and it's not their faith. It's your own understanding and your own faith in Jesus. And I love what Phillips is saying here. Like, pastors are charged by God with helping us to grow, but we must make his word, I don't have my Bible here, I have my Kindle Bible, but we must make his word, I would hold it up right here, so as to keep it with us. We have to keep it with us. And that's why memorization, I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and they were saying that memorization is so hard, and I find it hard too. Really just stopping and memorizing passages of scripture is really, really difficult. Maybe it's because my mind is just careening so much. But keeping his words with us so that we can call on them when we need them. Really important. So effort is implied here, right? Apply your heart to understanding. That's from verse 3, I believe. It implies effort. We have to try this. We have to make it part of our daily ritual. The heart must be applied to understanding. It won't happen by accident. The wisdom, discernment, and understanding must be sought out as if it were silver and hidden treasures. I love that. In these few verses, Solomon describes many ways that we must seek after wisdom. We must receive it. We must treasure it. We must incline it, really bring it into place, apply it, cry out, lift up our voice, and seek and search. The one who pursues wisdom in this way will not be disappointed, but this search must be serious and strenuous. It has to take effort. There has to be some fight on our part to seek the wisdom and then in turn apply it. The way of wisdom is never revealed to triflers, people that just kind of trifle with, or, kind of just toy around with it a little bit. Maybe I'll check it out today. I'll read 2 or 3 verses. Maybe I'll just... No, we have to go for it. We got to go for it, right? Attention of body, intention of mind, and retention of memory are indispensably desired of all wisdom's scholars, such as Edward VI, who constantly stood up at the hearing of the word, took notes, which he afterwards diligently perused, and wrought the sermon upon his affections by meditation. It's one way to do it. You're in your church service on a Sunday morning. You stand up, take notes, really pay attention. Right when you're sitting down, you have the inclination to I can get comfortable. I can be quiet. Maybe my eyes will close. Maybe I'll get sleepy. When you're standing up, you got to pay attention. Stand at attention is a phrase that we've all heard. With the same unwearied diligence and earnest desire and patient expectation under all delays, disappointments, and difficulties, which worldlings use in the purchase of riches or in digging of mines of silver. Man, pool just went whew. But I love the first part of that. We have to have unwearied diligence and earnest desire for it all. Love that. In the same way that we seek money, we should seek wisdom. Right? Man. Then you will understand the fear of the Lord. Solomon establishes the principle that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge and wisdom. Here he teaches us that without the effort to seek out wisdom, we will lack in the fear of the Lord and the knowledge of God, right? So you get it. We all get it, right? Wisdom is something that we have to continuously seek, something that we have to continuously just seek after, look for. I love these the ways that we have to seek wisdom. We have to receive it, treasure it, apply it, cry out for it sometimes. God, help me to understand this passage. Help me to apply it to my life, right? Have those prayers ever been uttered from your mouth? Help me. I don't get this, but help me to understand it. Seek for it, search for it, fight for the wisdom. Man, that's such great stuff. Okay, so remember this little word, bushido. A set of rules and practices that guided their life and enabled them to grow into people of wisdom, fortitude, loyalty, compassion, and service, right? So those rules we have to put into practice in our life. We have to receive, we have to treasure, we have to apply, we have to cry out, we have to seek and search wisdom. These are little rules that we have to bring into our lives. And then I love this quote from Ken here. A rule of life is simply a rhythm of practices that empowers us to live well and grow more like Jesus by helping us experience God in everything. Love it. Love it. So there you go. There's your little devotion for the day. Go check out Proverbs chapter 2. Read through it. Try that little Proverbs challenge. Read a chapter a day. Just see how that goes. See if you can keep it up. It's tough. You got to dedicate time every day. But that's what we're talking about here. Like, we have to dedicate time, effort. It's strenuous. We have to slow down a little bit, right? Yeah, that's what seeking wisdom is all about. So I pray that in your walk with Jesus, you would seek wisdom in the midst of it all from him. Cool. Well, thanks for tuning in. If you want to get involved in what we're doing, head over to our community, which is joindavesband.com. That's joindavesband.com. Get involved there. You can support the ministry. You can get access to over 500 hours of content by way of devotions, video devotions, written devotions, Bible studies that are like long form versions of what we just went through here. You get to download all the music. You get access to our community where there's tons of people that are just praying for you and with you. It's an absolutely beautiful place to kind of grow in your faith. So if you want to join us, head over to joindavesband.com. It's less than the cost of your Netflix subscription, but it changes lives. The first few dollars of your membership money goes straight to helping us sponsor a kid. So we'll see you in there. All right, joindavesband.com. Thanks for tuning in. Prayers up for you today as you seek wisdom today. All right, go check out Proverbs chapter 2. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.